Hey everybody, this is Rob from Darkside Comics and Games in Chesterfield, Missouri, and this is episode 3 of Darkside After Dark. And today I'm joined by Brandon,
Hello.
Thomas,
Hey,
and Jacob,
Hello.
who is not on camera, as I'm sure you can tell. Uh, all right. Well, today we are going to. Well, first of all, yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's go around the horn and everybody. Uh, we'll name our favorite format. Just take a second. Brandon, what's your favorite format?
Right now it's modern. I like Commander a lot, but modern's been holding a lot of my attention lately.
Yeah. Thomas, what's your favorite format?
um, I don't know. Oathbreaker probably.
Oh, wow.
Commanders, I don't know. It's kind of like Commander, but not as
Broken.
Not as
different.
soul ringy. Yeah.
Not as soul ringing. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
But I like having the signature spell.
Jacob, what about you? What's your favorite format?
Uh, I've actually been really digging the format that Darkside's been doing, the Pioneer Brawl. So it's Brawl, but with Pioneer legal cards. Pretty
Yeah,
fun.
I really, really enjoyed as well, and it seems like it's really catching on. At least before everything had to shut down, we were getting, 2 or 3 pods every Saturday, which was pretty cool. Which is pretty good on a Saturday. But I think my favorite format overall is probably standard. Um, one thing I figured out with
What a
modern, I like
loser.
brewing in modern, but I don't like playing it as much as I like brewing because I get tired of seeing the same like 7 cards over and over and over again. And with standard, at least you only get that for a few months.
Yeah.
And it's like
West Indies.
instead of 7 cards over and over
Evil
and over.
treachery.
I also really like Pioneer a lot. I like pretty much, you know, I like the Pioneer Brawl a lot. Oathbreaker, I'm kind of hit or miss with because it's just sometimes it feels as combo-y as Commander is sometimes, but sometimes it's really fun. But with that being said, let's move on to our first topic. I guess our first topic of the day is the Ikoria delay, which by the time this video is up, I'm sure will be old news. But we're going to talk about it anyway because we're not here to break the news. We're here to talk about the news and other things. Um, so I guess first of all, with Ikoria getting delayed at least once, it might get delayed again. Who knows? However, if this thing lingers on, but um, I was wondering what kind of impact that might have on the set after the core set. Will I, will they have to like keep, pushing things back? Well, I don't know. What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah, I think we're lucky that the next set is a core set because it's not really relevant. It's just a core set.
You mean lore
Um,
wise, like story wise?
right.
Yeah.
So I think it's not a big deal if this set comes out sooner, and I think typically core sets don't sell as well anyway, so I don't think it's going to affect the sales too much.
Yeah, that's interesting because in my experience, core sets really they really don't lack in sales like a lot of people. I mean that of course I'm talking about a very small sample size, which is just my store, not every store across the country or the world or even the state. It's so I think it's a varying degree. A lot of our players tend to like core sets, but I think a lot of that just comes down to each individual set. Like anything, some sets sell really well. Like War of the Spark sells really, really well. Throne sells really well, but Dominaria sold really well. But something like Rivals of Ixalan didn't sell well, you know. But the first Ixalan did. Um, so that's an interesting take. What about you, Jacob? What do you think about the delay and how that might affect the next set?
Well, I think what they're gonna do is that they're gonna either extend it longer to take the duration of the next set, and then that will be the next time slot of the year that they plan on doing core sets, or um they'll find something else to kind of fill that spot.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, it's kind of tricky because you're dealing with a global market, and um, there's just a lot of things that come into play with that, and I mean, definitely everybody's losing money. Everybody's losing money like crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think lots of this is gonna be like, how do we, because their products are already cramped together like a lot. How do they keep things spread out enough to where no one's overwhelmed? Because delaying even one set or delaying two sets, depending on how long this takes, is going to be kind of overwhelming for Magic players, especially if they're not making money. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I think that what they might do is they might do a stagger delay. So what Ikoria is getting delayed by what, like 4 weeks or something, 3 weeks?
hmm
So we'll just say 4 weeks for argument's sake. So then the core set might get delayed like 2 weeks, and then you're only cutting off you're only cutting off 2 weeks of Ikoria time, and then 2 weeks of the core time, um, as opposed to 4 weeks of Ikoria. Because one thing I think that we might run into is Ikoria is probably gonna not have as many cards out in the wild, because a lot of stores are gonna be cutting their orders to try and save money, especially if you got a new set coming out quicker from the time Ikoria comes out than you do normally. We might run into a situation where the rares and mythics down the line, especially like a year or two from now, might become, super rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might run into some, like, if you have a you know a a card that ends up getting played outside of standard pretty regularly, like Teferi, like a Teferi does, or
Fabled Passage.
yeah, stuff like that. Those cards might end up spiking, doubling in price than what they normally would have otherwise. Um, I'm kind of curious what stores are going to do about their events when we're able to host events again. I was thinking about maybe, instead of doing drafts, maybe just doing sealed, and that way it gets more packs and more cards in the hands of the players.
I'd be down.
So, or maybe alternating, new draft one week and then sealed another week, something like that. I don't know. It's all up in the air at this point. I haven't really thought too much about then. I'm just trying to stay afloat now. So, yeah, I'm not sure. And then with the core set is kind of weird because like Thomas mentioned, it's not part of the normal lore, the normal story. Which is actually a big thing of what I like about core sets, because a lot of times they can just kind of shoehorn things in. When like three Chandras, like when just you wouldn't be able to do that with other sets really.
Yeah.
Um, I would like to see. I would like to see a couple decent like satyrs. Give Gallia a chance to shine a little bit more. I mean, Gallia is one of those cards that's already pretty good, even if you're not playing with satyrs. Kind of like Lyra was really good, even if you're not playing with other angels. It's like the extra Lord part was just kind of a bonus, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, we talked in an episode before about Ikoria and what we kind of expect, but is there anything that, like Thomas, is there anything you can think of that you would like to see, even if it's not an obvious thing that might happen?
I think we need a supersized collected company that instead of 3 CMC or less, we get 4 CMC or more.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So
Fires of Invention would just
I
be like unstoppable.
don't know. I mean, that's an interesting point though. Is like, but if you make it something like that, I mean, we almost had something similar with Bells and Lock back in the day. Um, but if you make it where it's a more expensive card, then you really have to play a lot of expensive cards to take advantage of that card. Otherwise, you might miss on it a lot. But then, you know, you pretty much have to ramp then. I don't know. So Brandon, you think that might be overpowered?
Yeah, that's free casting right now is pretty overpowered. Getting two Cavaliers and then pumping into them with fires would be just nope. Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun. And there's also like 5 mana Niv Mizzet. Like I don't know.
Well, we do have Ironcrag feet, which already kind of lets
Yeah,
you throw out the big thing, but you're not digging for it either. So
yeah,
I don't know. What if there was like a downside to it? What if they made it like a Golgari card and you had to take damage equal to its CMC or something?
yeah. Like equal to their power or something.
There's ways to really balance the card. What do you think, Jacob? I know I said Golgari, so you're probably paying attention again. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean that definitely gets my attention. Um, I don't know. I feel like, especially in the themed sets, there's more of an emphasis on the cards that are already in that previous set's core set. Um, so like we're not going to see anything too new as far as like synergy is concerned. Like the new stuff. Well, I mean, or it could be that they're going to introduce new mechanics to phase out, um, guilds and Ravnica. I don't know. There's a lot of there's been a lot of discussion, and not a lot of previews around this set, and especially like with delaying it has created a lot of speculation.
you know what I was thinking recently, and I'm not sure. Hey, Thomas, looks like your microphone is off. What's up with that?
I
Technical.
mute it when I'm not talking.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was kind of thinking. I was, in the last year or two, Wizards has really done a lot with graveyard synergies. We've had escape, we've had surveilling, we've had exploring, which aren't necessarily graveyard surveilling, exploring, but they feed into it. Whether you're playing like crackling drakes or any kind of reanimator type thing, you had stuff like a zony undergrowth. That was the other ability, the big one. And something I was kind of thinking about, I thought would be a neat ability is I kind of dubbed it mana cycling. Like we already have land cycling, right? Which just fetches for whatever, it'll say like basic land cycle or plain cycle or whatever. We've had that in the past. But I was thinking like, what if it was like, you pay 2 or pay 3 or whatever it is, and you just, you cycle the card, so you get to draw a card, but then you also get to add like 1 mana of the card you cycled's like color. And the difference with that over something like uh, a land cycle is, the land cycle, that's kind of sorcery speed to use that mana, whereas you can almost Simian Spirit Guide, a way to get something.
I think they would be able to at least be able to in like a design space make like a close to a storm card with that. That'd be pretty cool. Like the blue version would be like close to an opt, but maybe better
Okay.
because that way you have you can always flash it back, but you can't cycle it. But whatever its regular effect is, you could tack on.
I guess the other thing I was thinking about too is like if we had like a mana cycling type thing, it's because Lair of the Behemoths is like sounds like big stoppy creatures, kind of like Onslaught was way back when. And if you had a way to it might even be multicolor like Alara was. You have a way to kind of filter your mana because it's like, yeah, you're paying more, but hey, I need this one color to cast this creature that costs 2 red and a green or something like that.
What if they brought back bounce lands?
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting. I
Another
think
thought.
it might be a
You
little
guys
early.
you guys know the layer cycle?
Yeah, yeah,
That's a bounce land.
uh,
Yep.
yeah. They made 3 colors, but when they entered, you had to pay 1 for them. They would
Mhm.
come in tapped, and you had to
They come in untapped, and then you bounce a land, or else you sacrifice them
right. You have to bounce a non-layer. That's what
on
it was.
layer. Yeah, but you
Yeah,
can tap it in response if you need to just like have the short land drop.
right. But that was a big deal, is because they made 3 different colors.
Yeah, that was in Derevi, because it was just perfect for land.
Yeah, those came out a long time ago. They were like they were around Invasion or Plane Shift,
Mhm.
somewhere around that time, like like 98, uh, trying to remember the names of them, but yeah, I own a few of them myself because
It's Treva's Ruins.
Dromar's Caverns,
Dromar's
Croesus's Catacombs,
Yeah.
Diergaz's Cauldra,
yeah,
Mhm.
and another one.
Now they said they were going to complete a cycle that they said they were going to in the future. Maybe this is like the cycle, but like this is the Tricolor Land deal. I haven't done any math, but I don't think there's any like overlapping they can really do. Can they? Like, is there an Abzan one, or that's
we
what I'm
talked about
saying?
completing a cycle, but I guess this wouldn't be completing. I've been saying for a while that I'm surprised we haven't gotten these Scars of Mirrodin Fastlands
Hmm.
reprinted because those desperately need to be reprinted. They are so expensive, and they are not they're not that great to be that expensive. Like they're good, but like
Yeah.
especially the Rakdos one. Which one is that? That's so expensive.
Blackleaf Cliffs.
Yeah,
Blackleaf Cliffs.
they don't need to be that much.
$13 for each Copperline Gorge didn't feel very good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Their price is way down right now, though. You can get them on TCG for like $6.
Yeah,
I
everything's down right now.
uh,
Anything
Yeah,
else on Ikoria?
what's that?
Anything else on Ikoria that we need to?
No, we've actually talked pretty long on Ikoria. We actually only have a few minutes left, so I think that we should save the other topic for maybe the next episode or another episode. Um, unless we think we can get a whole conversation in about 5 minutes.
No.
No. Yeah, I don't think so. We could tease it, but not really. Anything about any particular formats that really frustrate you besides Commander?
Oh man, we'll let Thomas go first. Thomas, what's a format you like to play,
Yeah.
but there's something in it that just you can't stand?
Standard Agent of Treachery. Worst. Like, I have to play it because it's good. You can't not play it. And then
I don't
every match on Arena is just agent versus agent. So you're just trading agents back and forth constantly.
know. What about you, Jacob?
So I'd probably say standard as well. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm a Golgari main, and I tend to like to play the best Golgari cards, which right now is Rankle and Questing Beast. And yeah, exactly, Rob. I get that, every single time I cast one of them, and then people get surprised when I cast another, or if I combo off on them. Just you expect it. I'm playing Golgari.
Well, when we play against each other, I think that I'm able to name your next play 75% of the time. I almost,
It's like
always, I almost,
it's-
I almost always name the card you draw, what you're gonna play, why you're holding up mana, and like
Because you know Golgari decks.
I know you.
That's
What about you?
true.
All right, Brandon. What about you?
Um, that's really tough. I'd say the most annoying card for me is Urza's Tower. It makes it makes the most amount of mana of the 3 lands. So maybe if the 3 Tron lands together made 6 mana, it'd be a little bit easier to win. It's more of a stressful matchup than anything, but yeah,
Like it's a
Tron
race
in general.
clock.
What was that?
Like you're racing against the clock.
Yeah, it's like I hope I draw land destruction. Like a good thing I run it because like if I didn't, maybe I was just dead.
My opponent's gonna throw out a Nugan or a Karn on turn 3. It's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait to see this again. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, um, like there's things in modern that I can't stand. But I think with standard, kind of touching, expanding on what Jacob was talking about with Rankle and Questing Beast, and we also get it with the Clackbridge Troll. I'm kind of tired of all these like really good creatures having haste and not having red in them at all. And the other thing, Brandon and I were talking about this, I think, while we were recording our Let's Play last night. Um, I was talking about how in a standard where we have 3-drop Vivian, which gives all your creatures flash, and we have Leyline of Anticipation, which gives all your cards flash, why do we need so many creatures with flash? And like enchantments with flash? Like what like it makes those two cards that's like their specialty kind of irrelevant in a standard when you're just like, well, I already have all these great creatures and stuff that have flash. You know,
R&D, what are you thinking?
right? It's kind of like it'd be like I don't know, it'd be like printing a whole bunch of different kind of shocks, but then like having lightning bolts or something. It's just like, why would I play these when I have lightning bolt? You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think why would I even play Shock when there's Bone Crusher Giant? I know Shock's more mana efficient, but Bone Crusher Giant's just so much better.
It's 2 cards.
Yeah, I mean I mean a 3-mana 4/3 that punishes people for targeting it is already really good without the other part being attached to it. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that's about all the time we have for this one. Anybody got anything else they want to add before we cut out for the day?
Nope.
Not really.
Nope.
Jacob? Jacob, say
Good.
something.
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, guys, again, I'm Rob. We got Brandon,
Yep.
Thomas, and Jacob with us today. And I want to thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you guys next time. Or trying to say, guys. See everybody next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.